try the right side here. And an alley to run. And he'll be taken down, but not before he gets into enemy territory. A good pickup there, 26 yards.
Well, partner, I have to say they caught him in the right defense there. Nickel set, fifth defensive back on the field, and they love to run against that because now you typically get a bigger blocker on a smaller defender.
Yeah, because those DBs like you, they want the interception. They're not as worried about the running play, right?
Not at all. I still remember being in school, and one of my offensive line teammates used to say, boy, I'd love to come downfield and hit you little people.
Good run there. And at his size, he's a smaller back. You can get him the football. He can kind of get lost, make someone miss. It's good for him.
Yeah, it's great for him. I like what you said there. Sometimes he gets lost in the traffic a little bit, but get him out in the open field into some space. That plays to his strengths the best and keeps him out of it where all the big boys are, you know, make someone miss in the open field. We talk about mobility on quarterbacks all the time. Here's where it really pays off. Able to move, evade, and is accurate throwing on the run and picking up a first down.
Back to throw now on first down. Dancing to his left. And brought down, but not before they're inside the 25. Give him 11 on the gain there, and it'll be a Buffalo first down.
Partner, as a quarterback, sometimes you just got to know when the clock has gone off in your head, it's time to go. Tuck it and get all you can.
Let's go. And they'll go with the ground attack here. And able to push his way forward here for a good little gain. He'll get a nice chunk there on the first down run, and it's 2nd and 4. And that looked like some pretty easy yardage there right up the gut.
And he's a guy that has some height to him. So when you don't have to drop a shoulder or create or get through contact or trash, makes it a lot easier to stay upright, see the field, and make a run as we just saw there.
And this time not as successful as he'll get back to the line of scrimmage and no more. No gain on the play that time, and they'll look to convert on what will be a 3rd and 4. Here's the 7th play of this drive. This is 3rd and 4. Now a shotgun snap as they'll look to throw. Buying time to his left. 7 yards on the pickup there, and now they've got it 1st and goal.
These type of plays are backbreakers for a defense. They thought they had him hemmed in, thought they were going to get him on the ground with the pass rush, but were unable to do so. He gets away, picks up a big first down, and sets up 1st and goal inside the 10.
Now they'll switch it up here and look to throw. Flushed out right. And he'll just chuck this one up into row G. It's incomplete.
It's a tried-and-true formula, and I don't think it'll change for as long as we play football. If someone's trying to throw the ball and you can put pressure on them and make it tough, that's only going to help your defense.
Yeah, he sensed being hurried. He got rid of it before taking the hit, but incomplete. And he's going to be taken down, sacked back around the 18-yard line. Chandler Jones in there to drop him, and it'll be a loss of about 8.
And on 2nd and goal, they decide to throw it again, and this result is even worse. They take a sack. On first down, it was simply an incomplete pass. Not a good first 2 plays, beginning with 1st and goal.
Way back at the 17 now after the loss. It's 3rd and goal. They'll need to get the play off quickly. Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. He dropped it. Couldn't hang on in the end zone. So no 6 points, incomplete. Dan Bailey now for the field goal try. From the left hash, this from 34. And the 12-year veteran knocks it right through. And the Bills have taken the lead. And, Charles, they get the field goal. Took him a dozen plays, though.
Work with me on this one. You know what I'm about to say, right? Bend but don't break. That's what came into play here for the defense. 12 plays were run at them. They only gave up 3 points. In a lot of ways, that's a win for the defense.
And not a bad return here. He gets it out to the 25-yard line. Now we take a glance at the offense as they work their way back out for their first possession of the 2nd half. They trail offense, first time to touch the ball in quarter 3, and we'll see what they can do.
And I can't wait to see what they have planned. because some teams script to start a half. Other teams just go, okay, these are the sequence of plays we want to run. These things worked well for us. And sometimes they throw in that big chunk play right away.
Shocker.
Try and get after them early and try and create a big play to give themselves some momentum.
See what they have up their sleeve. To throw, Mariota. And he's just going to get rid of this thing. To no one here. He throws it away. And now it's third.
Whether they deserve credit or not, the defense is going to take credit for that incompletion because it always feels good when you slow down an offense.
Third down here for the offense after the incomplete pass. They come up in an empty set. 4 wide receivers, 1 tight end. Mariota. Ertz has it left side. And I think the ball's out. Now this is picked up by the Bills. And his guys are going to take over at the 34-yard line.
All these years we've been watching the game, I start to get the sense that whenever it rains out, those guys who have to touch the ball and carry it, they're extremely resentful about that weather.
Yeah, I'm just happy I'm not resentful that we have a roof over our heads. I know that much.
Yeah, maybe we won't fumble our play sheets here as we just saw the fumble happen on the field.
So they need to determine if that knee was down before the ball was coughed up.
And they also wanted to make sure that the ball was possessed.
Here's Brad Wing now. On for his second punt. He'd take a repeat of his first. He gets us away. It's a good one. Drawing toward the sidelines. And now where will the side judge stop his walk? That's the question. He says it crossed out of bounds at about the 17-yard line. And the Titans defense, they get ready. They take the field again. And they really dug in deep on that last drive. They gave up quite a bit of yardage. Somebody must have said something in the huddle, though, because they got a big stop.
And someone on the sideline said, what took you guys so long before you dug in on that possession? But you're exactly right. To be able to grit it out at the end after giving up such a long drive, they have to feel better about themselves. Now they want to start this possession and not let it get to that extent.
Right, because they gave up the 3 last time. See if they can stop them here. Officially no gain on the play, and it's second down.
Well, he didn't make headway on that one, but he's had plenty of carries all night long. I just wonder if maybe he's a little bit tired from toting the rock that much.
Now he'll look to throw here on 2nd and 10. And the hit jarred it loose. It's incomplete.
After watching him drop that slant, I can hear my old coach's voice ringing in my ears right now. You can't run with the ball until you catch it. Trying to get those rack yards before he secured it. A nickel set shown by the Titans on 3rd down.
Thinking pass. From the shotgun, he'll look to throw. Escaping the pressure right. He may try and run for this. And he'll get it up here this time to the 21. A gain of 4 on the play. And it'll be 4th down. Here's Matt Darr now, as he'll kick it away for the 2nd time.
And, partner, I would guess that in his headset he was hearing from his coach, it's 3rd down, don't take a sack. And in this case, he's able to avoid the pressure and get out of there. He doesn't get the 1st down, but he does turn a possible loss into positive yardage.
And here comes Tennessee as they get set to take the field. And a fumble last time. Ball security. Talk about it all the time in the National Football League. They've got to be better at it on this drive.
Don't you think that when every team gets together for the first time, I don't care if it's OTAs, mini camps, first day of camp in the regular season, ball security comes up about, what, the 2nd sentence of the coach's address?
And those are so many drills focus on that.
All the time, and they do drills to make it even tougher to simulate game situations. Doesn't always work out, though.
And he is going to lose yardage here.
Holding offense.
So now a 3rd and 12 with an extra defender here in the secondary, a nickel look. The defensive line disperses a little bit here, maybe expecting a pass. Here's Mariota throwing for his running back, and he's got him complete. They pick up 10, but it'll still lead to a 4th down.
Partner, I think that completion takes the definition of dink and dunk to a different level, doesn't it?
It does, and the defense was right there, kind of played into their hands. He gets this one away, and boy, it's another boomer. And that is much too long. That's into the end zone for a touchback. Now the Bills offense gets ready to head back onto the field. And on the last go-around, they really couldn't get anything going.
They had to punt from deep inside their own territory, which means you're going to lose the field position battle as a general rule. What they're looking for now is a little more consistency, move the ball at least a few times on offense, get a couple of first downs, and hopefully flip the field.
Yeah, just something to build off of. That's what they're looking for here.
We always like to talk about defense in terms of levels. First level defensive line, second level linebackers, third level defensive backs. On that run, that was what we call a first level run, and it was stopped by a second level player.
It's an 8-yard pickup and leads to a new set of downs.
That's a good, nice, crisp run for a first down. I wonder if the defense might have been loosened up a little bit, maybe anticipating a pass instead of the run that they got.
They'll bring the tight end in motion right. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he'll get this up only to about the 33. Give him a couple on the carry there, 2nd and 8.
That's a good play by the guys on the defensive side of the ball. Held him to a gain of 2. And that changes the playbook a little bit now for the guy calling plays. 2nd and 8. Now he's got to probably think about going to the air instead of maybe staying with the ground game.
The play fake. He'll look to throw. Being chased out left. And he finds a man on a crossing route. And he eventually goes down, but not before reaching the 30-yard line. 1 quarter remains here on a Sunday night. We'll return back now here on EA Sports. It's been a very hotly contested game to this point. Just a field goal separating these two teams as we get set for the 4th quarter. First down, they'll run it on the draw play. And now they're going to get him down right at the line of scrimmage. That's going to go as a loss of a yard, and it'll be 2nd down. And in this situation with the lead 4th quarter, they're liking keeping the ball on the ground, I'm sure.
It's just smart football, but you know the defense has to know it as well. They've got to stop them here. So now we're going to see that loading the box in a big way. 6, 7, 8, 9, whatever it's going to take, puts a little bit more pressure on your big offensive line.
And he'll be a couple yards shy of the red zone here at the 22-yard line. And here comes play number 6 on this drive. Again, we'll see the pistol here. They'll go to the air here on 3rd and 2. Sliding out of the pocket. And he's just going to throw this one out of bounds here. Nowhere to go with it. Incomplete.
Partner, how many times have you heard it? Pressure creates diamonds, right? But it also bursts pipes. And on that one, that's what they got. They got after him, and he was fortunate just to get rid of it.
Yeah, he just had to chuck it away. And here's a big one now. Trying to hold this lead. They're going to go for it here on 4th down. They'll look to throw here. And no, it's incomplete. And here comes Tennessee as they get set to take the field. And a tight game after punting last time. See if they can get something going on this drive.
As they head to the field now, with the game this close, you've got to feel there's a sense of...
And they get to Mariota here as he's dropped on the sag. That one will set him back nearly 10 yards here on 1st down on the sag. And they brought the pressure there just right up the gut, didn't they?
Yeah, they certainly did. And, you know, when you've got so many different responsibilities as an offensive line, you got to deal with the nose tackle, the 2 defensive tackles or ends, and then sometimes you just can't account for everyone. The linebacker slipped free.
And a quick throw here, that's complete. 6 yards is the pickup, and that'll lead to a 3rd down.
An ex-teammate used to tell me all the time, I hate experienced quarterbacks because no matter what, you really can't hide what you're doing. And I think that right there, he knew right away where the blitz was coming from, where his primary guy was going to be, and he ended up going to a secondary target for a nice game.
I was just going to ask you, that wasn't the primary target. He's so good at that, isn't he?
I think he knew right away that he wasn't going to get to his primary guy. I think he read that as soon as he got to the line of scrimmage, knew where the pressure was going to come from, and said, I know how to beat that, and that's what he did.
Here's Brad Wing now. He's been terrific so far. Taking it about the 16. A good return there. Call it 13 yards. And the Bills will take over the football with a 1st and 10. Here again comes the captain of this offense leading his crew back out there now. So, Charles, there are the numbers. What's happened here? Defensive adjustments that's caused him to sort of fall off a bit?
I think so. That has to happen. You've got to make some changes because in the first half, they were pretty effective. But the second part is sometimes when you're doing really well, you get off your game a little bit. You get off the gas a little. You're like, okay, we've got this thing. And that's not necessarily the case. Maybe right now, someone just needs to tell a joke in the huddle, loosen things up, and get their big guy going again.
They'll set up to throw. He'll buy some time right. Now look at this. They get the turnover they needed. It's intercepted. A great read, and it's picked off. And they will set up shop in enemy territory at the 42-yard line. And here comes Tennessee as they get set to take the field. And they're coming off a 3-and-out, my friend.
I think they've got to look at that play sheet and go to a spot that they haven't gone before. Time to shake things up a little bit to try and get this offense moving.
Okay, so how do you do that? How do you shake things up?
You look at what you've called before, realize it hasn't worked
go to
so
something
well,
else.
and maybe you try and find one of those special plays from one of your better players, and maybe try and hit something big and get things going in the excitement area.
And a long way to go for the offense here on 2nd down. Now a 2nd down throw for Mariota. Oh, he's got a man wide open, complete. A good pickup there at 22.
In recent years, the slot receivers really gained stature in the NFL because they can do so many things. Yes, they can line up wide like your normal wide receiver, but to have that kind of courage and toughness to run routes in the middle of the field and become dependable targets for their quarterbacks and move the sticks, those guys are worth their weight in gold.
He's got time in the pocket. And no escaping this time as he'll go down. They got him for a sack. He couldn't get rid of it. He winds up losing a yard. It's 2nd down. So now 11 yards to go for this offensive unit. It's 2nd down. Well, they go play fake. The problem is nobody was faked out.
And when no one's faked out, what's the end result? Quarterback gets hit.
To throw Mariota. And seeing nowhere to throw, he chucks this one away from harm. Incomplete. Now it's 3rd down.
Let's face it, perfection is something we all chase, whether it's playing this game or whatever we do. Hard to attain, but that's what they were searching for as that pass goes incomplete.
On 3rd down, Mariota. And they're going to get him. He's sacked back around the 28. It'll be a sack and a loss of 3, but more importantly, it brings up 4th down. He was trying to keep his eyes downfield. Nobody came open.
He's trying to do everything that he had been taught, right? Every bit of the technique. But if no one's open, there is no technique except make sure you hold on to the ball as you go to the ground when you're getting sacked.
And this one is right down the middle. And in the 4th quarter, this game is tied. I tell you, the life of a kicker. He has not been called on the entire game. He's over there by the net, but they send him out here in the 4th quarter and say, hey, go tie the game, will you? And guess what? He comes through.
I just don't know how they do it. I really don't. These cats are a different breed from you and me. That's a pressure kick, but that one was never in doubt.
The Bills offense now, they get set to head back onto the field. And following the interception, just any interception, are you a little bit more cautious when you start that next drive, or no, you just throw that out the window?
I think you are. I don't think that there's any way you can run back out there and go, totally didn't affect me. Let's just go ahead and be loose with the football again. You're going to take care of it, but you have to be careful about being too cautious because now you can't run any offense at all.
Still want to attack. We'll see how they attack them here.
When you see passes knocked down by those guys I call the frustrated fullbacks, the linebackers, you know that in their zone coverage, they were able to drop, see the ball thrown, and react to it very quickly.
He'll try again with the arm here on second down. And incomplete there. A nice hit. Jars the ball free and brings up third down.
And that drop will cause a little bit of angst for the play caller because you know they've worked all week game planning and flexing the tight end out and making him a matchup issue for the defense. They had what they wanted, and he drops the ball.
Man, just couldn't hang on to the slant. So here we go now. An extra defensive back in there on 3rd and 10. He'll look to throw. Now they go screen. It's complete. And to the 42-yard line here and brought down there. The screen gets 7, but it's not enough, and it'll be 4th down.
They dialed up the screen pass on 3rd down, and for a second it looked like it was all going to come together, and they had a chance to pick up a 1st down, but the defense got there and finished it off.
Tie game, 4th quarter, and they're going for this thing on 4th down. Back to throw again. And that is incomplete. Boy, it looked like he had it and dropped it. And the Titans, they've got the football back, and they've got it in great field position. Boy, an incredibly aggressive move to go for it there. Game tied 4th quarter. You got to be surprised.
I am, and I know that we're in a new era of football where we look at the analytics sometimes, and a lot of time the analytics tell you to go for it, right? But do the analytics take into account game situation, where we are, all those things? In this situation, I thought it was an incredibly aggressive play.
It didn't work out, and again, tie game 4th quarter makes this thing a little bit more interesting. They'll run it now out of the gun. About 3 yards there to the 27. A couple of Bills team up to bring him down there.
Not a run that you're going to write home about, but still a good 1st down run. That's what an offense calls staying on schedule. 3 to 4 yards on 1st down, you're set up very well for the rest of the drive.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And he will score. Touchdown, Titans. A great play there. His first touchdown here of the new campaign. And the Titans are going to take the lead.
Well, partner, that was another explosive run. And one thing I've learned in our time in this game, yes, the offensive line has to get a lot of credit. But for big runs to occur, the wide receivers have to block well downfield.
And then you have to have a good guy carrying the ball too, right?
Oh, without a doubt. You need that difference maker lugging the rock.
Extra point attempt here still to come. And they will take a 7-point lead now. Scoring summary, 3-play drive. And the result in the end, a Titans touchdown. The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away. This fielded at the 2.
And when you're facing a deficit on the scoreboard, you're just looking for something to get you right back into the game, and that's the spark that they were looking for. They got it with that big return.
Back onto the field now comes the Bills offense. And last time this unit was out here, costly turnover, and then that turned into 6 points. They've got to make amends.
And how many times have we sat in meetings with coaches and they use the term complementary football? Offense take care of the defense, defense take care of the offense. That didn't happen on the last possession. This is a chance for them to pick themselves back up and help their team.
Yeah, we'll see if they can recoup and recover. They'll come out throwing here on 1st down. And this time he's got the hookup. It's complete. 17 yards on the pickup there. The drive will continue. It's a 1st down.
There's a completion to the tight end, and I think that we're looking at something out of central casting, frankly.
Absolutely.
I mean,
size, the hands.
Speed. I mean, can flat out run. You put that whole package together, you light up the eyes of an offensive coordinator, don't you?
And brought down, but not before they get it inside the 10 to the 7. It's a 10-yard gain there, and it sets them up now 1st and goal.
I like watching the wide receiver screen because it's a real teamwork play. Because guess what? The guy catching the ball, he'll get all the credit. But how about the people up to block in front of him, either fellow receivers or offensive linemen? That makes that play a really nice timing play, and sometimes it can break big.
First down and goal to go from the 7. It's a loss of 2 there, bringing up second down.
One thing I know, defensive coaches love it when they don't have to invite their players to the party. This strong safety, you never have to ask him twice to help in run support. He's going to arrive and in a bad mood.
And leading here late, so a chance for the defense to really close out this game if they can halt the offense. They'll look to throw. And that one got tipped, kind of threw everything off. It brings up third.
You got to give some credit. They're able to hop up in the air and bat that one away. And that's frustrating for an offensive lineman because the only recourse is when he goes in the air to try and get some type of a pop or a shove, hoping to bring his arms down.
They'll look to throw on 3rd and goal. And that is caught. Touchdown, Buffalo. A great effort there. His first touchdown of the new season. And the Bills are an extra point away from tying the football game. Well, he wasn't the guy they were initially going for, but after going through the progressions, it worked.
When you have plenty of people who can catch the football, you don't always have to go to your primary target, and sometimes that target is actually covered. Nice job coming off of that and getting it to someone who was open.
And the man out of the backfield gets in for the score. And no sweat. He puts it through, and we are tied here in the 4th. The drive summary that time, 5 plays. And it culminates in a Bills touchdown. So here comes the kickoff now, all even here in this 4th quarter. Fielded about a yard deep. Now a hit and a loose football. Now this is picked up by the Bills. And they will take over at the 26-yard line. And careless with a football there on the kick return.
And one thing I love about going to practices is trying to get around coaches and hear their catchphrases and what they really emphasize. We haven't been to a single one yet this year where a guy fielding a kick, you don't hear, tuck it away, tuck it away, tuck it away. And this time, they turned it over.
Ball security eluded him. They'll give it to him right up the gut. And they've got it in the red zone now, down at about the 19. It's a 7-yard carry to set them up with a 2nd and 3. Hitting the home stretch here in a great game, a tie game. Let's see if the defense can get the stop they need to get the ball back. So it's Bills football here as we get you reset. They've got a 2nd down now as they search for a score to break this tie. And they'll go on the ground. And he'll get him inside the 15 down to the 14-yard line. They get 5 out of that one, and it moves the chains.
So many teams want to throw the ball in this situation nowadays, but I love watching a team that has enough confidence to go ahead and run the football in that situation. That's almost a tendency breaker.
So it'll be first down here after the run.
Let's go! Detroit!
And they'll go ground game here with a tailback. And the Titans going to signal for a timeout defensively. It's just their first. They've got 2 more to use here in the final stages. They come out with 1 back and 3 tight ends. And they give this time to the tailback. And he'll push his way. Now another timeout here called by the Titans. That'll leave them with just 1 remaining in this 4th quarter of play. Still 9 yards to go on 3rd down. They'll come up now in the Wildcat package. Now a handoff here to his running back. And he will have the first down before he's brought down at the 3. And play is stopped here. Timeout. It's the defense calling the timeout here. It'll be their third and final timeout, so as they talk things over, we'll step aside. And a new set of downs here after picking up the first on the ground. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he'll get him a bit closer as he's down to the 2-yard line. He'll get 2 out of that run, and it's going to bring up a 2nd and goal.
Well, the spotlight hit him once already tonight as he got into the end zone. He was trying to make it a double spotlight, wasn't he?
But credit the defense, bottling him up, not letting him get in for the second score there. And now it's 2nd and goal. Trying to run inside, but nothing there. No gain on the play there. They're going to need to come up with something better here on 3rd and goal.
His path.
Now hold everything here. We're going to get a timeout by the offense. It's just their first. They've got 2 more to use here in the final stages. Another shot here from the 2 as they come up on 3rd and goal. They come out with 1 back and 3 tight ends. And they'll try and burn some clock with a sneak. Only a yard that time, so now a decision to be made here on 4th and goal. Now whistles come in. We're going to get a timeout here by the offense. That'll leave them with just 1 remaining in this 4th quarter of play. And no movement for the field goal unit to break this tie. They're going to go for this thing. 4th and goal. Here we go. Now here's and he's in for the touchdown. And in the final seconds, forget overtime. They just likely won this thing in regulation. So they do get it across for the game-winning touchdown, barring, of course, something crazy happening on the kickoff.
So if we take the crazy out of it, that's the way you close the game out.
And it's no good. Well, that could be a critical miss here in a 1-score game in the 4th. Bailey now to kick it away after the touchdown. Fairly short kick, taken at the 14 here. And a pretty slick return there as he's up just shy of the 45-yard line.
And when you're faced... deficit on the scoreboard, you're just looking for something to get you right back into the game, and that's the spark that they were looking for. They got it with that big return.
One last shot now from Mariota, surveying the field. He's going to let it fly. And it's incomplete. So their final drive comes up empty. And with that, the ball game is over. Well, going into the final play of this game, they knew that they needed some type of a miracle there at the very end, but they couldn't get it done. However, we were treated to really a spectacular affair.
Even though they didn't finish it off, you're exactly right. They took us down to the last play. We're still, you're wondering, could it happen? Possibly, even though we both knew it was a long shot.
So for Buffalo, they get back in the win column as they move to 2-1 now on the year. And they will hit the road next week to take on the Miami Dolphins. Meanwhile, for the Titans, the early struggles continue as they'll sink to 0-3. And they'll be at home next week for a date with the Houston Texans. So that'll do it for us. For Charles Davis and all our crew, I'm Brandon Gaudin. You've been watching the NFL on EA Sports. The Bills are victorious as we say so long from Buffalo.